Cape St. Clair, Maryland. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First in the red corner, wearing the purple trunks with the black trim. He weighed in at 145 1/4 pounds. This pugilist has 2 losses, 4 draws, with 7 knockouts. From Westbury, New York, ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenger for this evening's main event, Slick Willy Wise. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the black sequin trunks with the gold trim. He tipped in at 146 1/2 pounds. Now, this veteran has 31 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, with 22 big knockouts. From Capitol Heights, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen, here is the NABF welterweight champion, Derrell "Too Sweet" Coley.
You receive your instructions in the dressing room. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands. Touch them up.
Willy Wise is pumped up. You've seen Derrell Coley all night get psyched in the locker room. He's so close, ranked number 2 in the world. Feels that he could get a world title fight. Once he gets by this one, how many times have we seen that go awry? As Derrell Coley, if he charges out, decides to slug, knows he opens himself up. Willy Wise, not known for his power, but coming off 2 sensational upsets, including over former world champion Dingan Tobella in Tobella's backyard in South Africa. Wise, very slick, smart boxer, keeps busy, and we'll see how Too Sweet comes out. Derrell Coley. Coley, after that incredible comeback against Kip Diggs, which was our fight of the year in '97, on went up against the always dangerous veteran Romalis Ellis, and going into that fight in October, Coley says, I'm going to box throughout. I want to see what happens. And he won 10-11 of the 12 rounds. It probably looked boring, really never could get into it. What he means is he never hit the canvas before he got started. But you know, he wanted to see how that would go. Plus, he was out 7 months, so there's a little rust to work off. But he's a fighter's philosophy. Boxing is his strength, but he will bang if he has to, or if things get a little too quiet.
Yeah, and you see him starting off this fight trying to box more. He's trying to bring in some more boxing in his style. He is a good banger, and we've seen him with some terrific brawls on the inside. But in the heat of battle, I'm convinced he'll get back to brawling. Willy Wise says in the ring, I'm a boxer or a banger. He says my best punch is the left hook. There's a good left hook to the body from Derrell Coley. Coley, there's a right hand.
Just see the quickness of that shot get in. And now, you know, you're going from the heavyweight fight, the David Tula, Jeff Wooden, to the incredible speed, sharp punches here of Coley against Wise. Scheduled 12-rounder.
Talking 100 pounds less, though. Derrell Coley weighed in 146 and a half.
I'm factoring
Willy Wise 145 and a half.
Hey! Step back, no punches, step back.
Coley, fighter, possesses the skills of a boxer, but the mentality of a warrior, and that sometimes gets him in trouble.
Yeah, but you know, these fighters have that emotion too. They get so into the fight themselves and into the crowd helps to pump them up. Coley trying to concentrate more, trying to settle down more, also looking to pick up power. He's been working on Nautilus. There's a has been important, pivotal for him to turn his shots over that he has been working on. Those tall, slender fighters have a thin neck like Coley. That's where they take the punch. Coley been trying to work on his neck exercises, trying to strengthen up his neck and his jaw muscles. Taking the science of this. Good combination up and down from Derrell Coley. Opening round's over.
This month, we've got action like you've never seen on DirecTV. Their closest ally has turned on them.
Taking over your school.
Why would you do such a thing?
Money.
But now the resident troublemaker is about to save them.
He's the only worthy opponent among the old bleeding lot.
Masterminds. He was the man of her dreams.
You're cheating on me, aren't you?
I'm not cheating on you.
If somebody's hurting you, they should be stopped.
Casualties. It was an adventure
Who's behind this?
that became a nightmare.
Who did this to me?
You're trying to kill me.
The game. He will tempt you with desire
I wish to be beautiful forever.
and turn your dreams into nightmares.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Be careful what you wish for. Wishmaster. He's the best there is.
Kill him. I'm not that easy to kill. I could use a man like that.
Body armor. Don't miss these action-packed movies. Now playing at a...
Comes out here for the... Just himself. The welterweight picture. If he could muster up the upset in this fight. Jose Rivera, WBA, WBO lightweight world champion Dingen.
Took that fight on 1 week notice. Says it wasn't the prettiest fight in the world, but I threw a lot of punches. Coley early, stay on his chest and slipping while you're inside. Aggressive defensiveness. Bob and weave and score. He knows a lot about Derrell.
And focus as we have seen Coley. If he started this way against Kip Diggs, that would have been a different story from the start.
Right, and they're also trying in the corner, Leonard Langley trying to calm him down. He says, groove. What he means is take your time. Concentrate on proper placement. Don't go in looking for the KO.
And find that you can pump.
Well, he looks pretty groovy. The first round here into the second round.
Right. Okay, you're holding.
He got into boxing and went to the gym back in 1979 with his brother Jeff. Derrell said, I didn't like it. He said, but Jeff said he'd buy me a pair of shoes if I boxed. So he started working out and he got his tennis shoes. He went 96-4 as an amateur. Beat Curtis Peoples. He lost to our friend Jamal Hinton. 2 Golden Glove titles, a win over WBC middleweight champ Keith Holmes.
Ooh, stinging right hand as you watch side for the Pikesville. First that to then undefeated. And then to Shannon Taylor, also undefeated. Went to Australia to fight Taylor there. Heard the story of Willy Wise, his son Dominique, and Wise taking some of these fights on short notice where you can actually make a little more money. Did that against Tabella, ended up upsetting him in his home.
Wise has a lot on his mind tonight. Tough kid.
Every 10 seconds or so, a stop sign goes up somewhere. And every 30 seconds, a traffic light goes up. It's as hard on your car as it is on you. It's stop and go driving. It's Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop and go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil. Next time you purchase Pennzoil Motor Oil, get a free subscription to your favorite magazine. See store for details.
From the USA Friday Night Film Vault, coming attractions. This Friday, March 13th, Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn in a high-speed chase down memory lane. Bird on a Wire, Friday, March 20th. The Riser and Judge Reinhold coast.
Compact welterweight. 5.25, and he has great speed turning Coley.
Yeah, good movement back and forth from Wise. Wise is a tough kid. Him when he was a young teenager, he says his Uncle William 72-10. with a medal, and Willie said I wanted one too, so I started working out. He'd like to have the medal of a welterweight championship belt around his waist.
Willie Wise in the ring with the heaviness hanging over him, fighting the emotions of taking care of his 3-year-old son Dominique, suffering from chronic seizure disorder. If you're interested in more information on CSD, Willie and friends have set up a website. There is the website address. And Willie says, if I could only get out of debt, be able to pay the costs, staggering medical costs. As a fighter, no insurance from this sport, not a team sport that takes care of you in that manner.
Step back.
Curable disease.
And when you don't have insurance and you have an incurable disease, you can't get it. But Willie Wise sure loves his son.
And that's why he's fighting now. It's a question of whether he would have continued his career. But he is finding that is one way in which he could possibly make more money than other endeavors.
And he says, I'm hungry in the ring. I'm more determined now because of my son.
Coming down to the final 10 seconds in the third round.
Around the Derrell Coley stepped back a bit, tried to start boxing more.
Discover timeless styling that goes beyond fashion. Discover superior quality and attention to detail that's backed by more than mere words. Discover the finest cruiser that delivers an extraordinary experience unmatched by any other. Discover yourself on a Royal Star by Yamaha.
Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. Even at 475 degrees, nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
Appearance in Pikesville from Maryland, D.C. area, Derrell Coley in the black trunks. Record of 31-1-2 with 22 knockouts.
Good fans here. They are knowledgeable about the sport of boxing. They understand the styles and the scoring. Great amateur program in these parts. Produced many world champions. Derrell Coley hopes he's one day a world champion.
Willie Wise 23-3-4 with only 7 KOs, and that's what Derrell Coley looks at.
Step back, no punches.
And we thought that actually he would be more on the attack and go to the slugging effect here early in the fight against Wise, who he can walk through. But Wise is slick, and he's on a roll. He's won 5 in a row. He's had a couple of nice upsets. And is very tricky in the ring.
Wise says, my hand speed and counter punching is what gives my opponents trouble and wins fights for me. He has a pesky style, kind of like David Wooden's, or Jeff Wooden's style. And he's fighting David Tua.
One of the two. Well, we are off next week, but we will return in 2 weeks. And former junior middleweight world champ Bronco McCart going up against undefeated Kenny Ellis. And also former U.S. Olympian Antonio Tarver. He has won his first 8 fights, goes up against a veteran, Charles Oliver, guy who has gone the distance with James Toney and Michael Nunn, and presents some experience for Antonio Tarver. We saw that with David Reed last week against Fidel Abendando, who had won over 50 pro fights. Reed looking for a good, aggressive 8-round workout, and that's just what he got in winning that fight by decision. And in 2 weeks, it'll be Tarver's turn to go through that experience. So that's coming up 2 weeks on the Tuesday night fights. Coming down to 30 seconds in round number 4. The exchange, swing and a miss by Coley. And Wise returns with some air over the head of Derrell Coley.
Wise gets in and gets out. What Coley must do with these assaults is take a step forward, because see how Wise is so ring-wise in there that when he gets hit a couple of times, he steps back. Now this is how we expected Coley to start the first round. I knew once they got it heated up, Derrell Coley would love to stay inside. That is a more exciting way to fight. Rounds go by quicker.
And I think Coley senses the crowd.
Yeah, he wants to get this crowd into it. Yeah. You hear that. You fight for that crowd's approbation. You hear that crowd.
And he hasn't been hearing the crowd in the first 4 rounds.
He's doing nothing to you. He's doing nothing to you. You control it. He's doing nothing to you. No, he's nothing to you. What you got to do now? Okay, he's beating you to the punch, okay? You relaxing too much. You try to knock him off your legs, okay? Drink a little bit of that, too. Drink a little. Good, good. More jab. Don't double up on it, okay? You put the right hand downstairs, come back with the hook. Come back with the hook, okay? Short. Keep it short.
Calm in the corner of Willie Wise, but you can detect in Derrell Coley's corner.
Back to the corner. Box.
Little concerned that their man relaxing a little bit too much, that he's being beaten to the punch, and they have given him the flag to turn it up.
But look who comes out turning it up. Willie Wise. They want more jabs from Wise, more bobbing and weaving, side-to-side movement.
Coley looking for the opening, delivering, but there's Wise again.
Missing punches, but
all over. Yep, he's getting some in, and now even more, and now Wise has to hold on.
Wise is hurt.
Well, maybe trying to get Coley to think he is. First time the crowd has been heard in this fight.
A little more intent on his punches this round.
Long shots by Coley. And Coley's found, though, sometimes when he opens it up like this, it also leaves him open. But he says he'll take the chance. He, at this point, knows he can get up and win. He has done that in about a half a dozen fights.
And he knows in boxing, you fight a boxer and box a fighter. And right now, he is trying to fight the boxer in Willie Wise. Make Wise slug with him. There's a good combination from Wise underneath. And Coley is the one that breaks back.
Wise got the no-look right hand. And that's probably one reason he missed.
Whoa. That had home run written all over it from Coley.
22 knockouts for Coley and his 31 wins.
Oh.
Trying to deliver number 23 here in the fifth. But striking back, Willie Wise, who just kind of gets inside of you.
Oh, he is tough. Willie Wise, a survivor, and can fire back.
Line up every ATV Honda has ever built, and they would stretch from our factory in Ohio to the deserts of California. But in 28 years, we've never built one like this. The first ATV with ESP, push-button electric shift program, full digital display, and the most powerful engine we've ever put in an ATV, the Honda Foreman ES. We've just added something new to a very long line.
USA Network and Hallmark Entertainment proud to present the ultimate battle between man and beast. Patrick Stewart stars in Moby Pictures' original special presentation starting Sunday Central with the exciting conclusion on Monday at 8, 7 Central Time right here on USA. The battle now between Derrell Coley and Willy Wise slips into the 6th round of the scheduled 12-round bout. We have seen Wise in fights in which he has dominated, but then caught late. Rocky Balboa. Coley, a victim of a couple of late knockdowns to survive that for the draw and to hold on to his NABF title. Also against Pat Coleman, a fight in which Coley had won 7 of the first 8 rounds, and he was caught. But that loss erased when Coleman later tested positive for drugs. He said Coley, incredible knack of finding a way to win. And this thing has really settled down. The crowd very much alive in the first 2 fights. Kathy Sandra Yard. Here in our
2 fighters. In my opinion, Derrell Coley to change speeds. Coley's a world-class fighter here. To all of us. You know, what you do in so many of these fights is you slow your opponent down to a walk. As a world-class fighter, you slow him down, you get the crowd out of it, and you slow him down to a walk, and all of a sudden you crowd into it as it hurts your opponent at the same time. Many times, with the crowd roaring, your local fans will help.
This is an opponent, Willy Wise, who Derrell Coley sees with only 3, doesn't really regard. Wise is one of the big power punches around. You figure if there was anybody he would turn it up against and slug with, it would be this opponent.
But he is trying to shake out, trying to stay loose, stay calm, not to rush in this fight. In changing styles, you really have to concentrate to change your whole body.
I don't know what's wrong with Skipper. Look, he's not the same.
What are you feeding him?
The usual.
Have you tried cat food?
Tough love. He needs tough love. Or maybe he needs to be fixed. You know, actually, you can do that yourself.
Not a problem. We'll help you.
You boil some water.
Veterinarian on America's Health Network. America's Health Network. Watch it for your health.
Watch us on DirecTV Channel 289. This big orange vehicle is the QVC Local, the world's first complete TV studio on wheels. It's rolling all over this great country of ours in search of the best locally made products from each of the 50 states. And so far, we found some tasty steaks in the these 50. Buy some of it too.
Tuesday night fights. Al Albert along with the champ Sean O'Grady. Round number 7 of 12-rounder. And this has become a chess match. Coley looking to pick it up here in the 7th round.
Wise has got to start off at the body and then come up to the head. Start throwing punches. Wise is getting out punched in this fight.
Although he slips in the right hand there, then the left.
Yeah, but just single shots.
Yeah.
Occasionally. Put them together. Especially with a guy like Coley. With that type of fighter, you have to start off at the body and then work your way up to top. And you got to catch him with combinations. You're not going to hit him with one shot.
But Coley resetting, intent on the boxing.
Good right hand from Wise. See how Coley carries that left hand low a bit. There's an opening there just above the thumb. I think it's okay to carry your left hand like that occasionally. Sometimes you want to bring it up and put it up around your ear or around your eyebrow, and then you can bring it back down. It makes it a more effective jab sometimes if you bring that jab up under your opponent's defense. The changeup, the switch. He wants to be a versatile fighter, Derrell Coley does. To do that, he'd be more effective carrying that left hand up a little bit more, using it for protection.
But right now in this round, dialing it in from long distance. Oh, jumping in with the left is Wise.
Wise is scoring. This round sneaking them in. Wisely.
The explosion by Coley.
Wise frustrated himself because of that. Good left hook from Coley. Coley trying, but Willy is just too slick in there. Moving around.
It's going to take about 6 punches to land 2.
But he's not getting hit. See how he's moving his head? Willy Wise bobbing and weaving what he said he was going to do. Said he was going to do some inside slipping, and he's frustrating Derrell Coley with that.
Into the corner with Willy Wise. We're off next week. We return in 2 weeks in Tunica, Mississippi. Bronco McCart, former junior middleweight world champion against undefeated Kenny Ellis, and then former 96 U.S. Olympian Antonio Tarver, one of his first 8 7 by knockout against the veteran Charles Oliver. That's coming up in a couple of weeks when we return to the airwaves. Good round for Willie Wise, number 7. As we head into the 8th of this 12-round NABF welterweight title fight. More work to be done in the corner. Willie Wise from Long Island, Westbury, New York. And for a time, the man in his corner and working with him was former world champion great Buddy McGirt. And you certainly see a lot of in Willie Wise.
Yes, you do. That inside fighting that Buddy was so great at, moving his head side to side and scoring. I refer to that as defensive offensiveness. Moving inside while you're being defensive too, and scoring.
Did you actually coin that phrase?
I have a patent on it, and you can't say it now, unless you pay me.
Pretty difficult to say. Try say it again. Fast.
Say what? It. I don't have to say it when Willie Wise continues to do it. He stays in this fight. Just a pesky style. Derrell Coley, which I think has landed the most blows. He's kept the pressure on.
Yeah, but so did David Tua. And he squeaks out a decision in the first one. He won. Bottom line.
Don't be a wise guy, Al.
Me? The only wise guy right now is in the ring. Willie Wise guy against Derrell Coley. Defensive offensiveness.
Very good. Say that fast, real fast 5 times. Being offensive while you're still defensive.
I've seen fighters with offensive defensive.
I know a lot of fighters that are offensive. I know some announcers that are offensive too, Al.
Step back.
Okay, look at this fight. Wow, let's get back to the fight. Man.
This fight is presenting you with too much
material.
Too much fill in the blank time. And the crowd also wants both these fighters to get a little more offensive. Number 8. Fighters taking this round off. Unfortunately, the champ did not do the same. 10 rounds and counting in the 8th round.
Life can put you in some scary situations, like getting your brakes repaired.
But as an adult, you can't hide behind a teddy bear, right? What you can do is go to Meineke. They take the scare out of brake repair. With a thorough inspection, dependable, high-quality parts, and fast professional service at that great Meineke price. So there's nothing to worry about. Meineke will take care of you, okay?
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
You don't say much, do you?
A good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport. It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
We asked some of Hollywood's hottest stuntmen to try Degree.
What's body heat activate?
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
I heated up, and it cooled me down. I was on fire, and I was dry.
Body heat activated Degree. Your body heat turns it on.
We bring you down here at ringside because we figure this may be the best place for a fight to break out right now.
That's it. Yeah, the match in the ring has kind of slowed down a bit the last couple of rounds. Two fighters perhaps looking to only wanted to come into this fight and shake out, stay out.
championship shot on the line here tonight. Derrell Coley at number 2 in the WBC. Oscar De La Hoya owns the gold in the WBC, and Coley's
they should fight in June. That match, Carpentier. Also, Lou Duba here in attendance. Derrell Coley's hoping to get a match with the winner of the Ike Corte Pernell Whitaker fight.
And right now, that's an issue.
A couple of good body shots from Wise. Has some good arsenal too. Good weapons, nice jab, good movement. Got a good cross and a nice left hook. He doesn't put a force of every punch behind it, not looking for KOs. Also seems to keep those hands right beneath his chin. I think he'd be more effective if he hid behind those gloves. Put them up in front of your face. Protect your face. He's going to protect his chin with his gloves where they're carried.
I think the big problem for Coley here tonight, Sean, is that he hasn't gone down to the canvas yet.
Well, he keeps getting hit by Wise. He may do that. You make Derrell Coley mad when you put him to the canvas. He gets up and fights with a vengeance.
Final 5 seconds.
Sun is rising. Looks like a great day.
It's a great day for the comfort and convenience of changing tint transitions lenses. Indoors, they lighten. Outdoors, they darken. So lightweight plastic transitions lenses are right in any light. For you.
Synthetic motor oil. Even at 475 degrees, nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
It's fight night on USA, so it must be Tuesday night. And we move into round number 10. Derrell Coley in the black trunks, 31-1-2 with 22 knockouts. Clad in purple is Willy Wise at 23-3-4 with but 7 KOs. 31-year-old Wise, 4 years older than Coley, who feels as if he is moving now into his prime with this fight number 35 in his pro career and inching closer and closer to world title fight. Looking at this as a tune-up for that. Wise now taking him into 10 rounds and demonstrating that
step back, no punching.
He is a tough man to catch. Coley came out so focused, so intense, ripping off some sharp shots in the first couple of rounds.
However, he did start this fight by boxing. Settled down a bit there in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds. Good uppercut, but he catches a left hook, does Coley. You know, what a difficult fighter to face in Derrell Coley. I mean, here's a kid that, you know, you see him in a match with Kip Diggs where he has just guts and determination, and it's a terrific match, back and forth, a real brawl. And you see him with Pat Coleman, the same kind of fight.
In complete control in that one until...
Yeah, then you come into the same kind of fight, though, where it's a brawl on the inside. And the match with Obakar, even though he lost it, I mean, it's still a back-and-forth match. And then you come into this fight with Coley that is grown to be rather banal.
The only loss, disputed split decision to Carr. Coley had been unbeaten in his first 29 fights. And prior to his last fight, which was the 12-round victory over Romales Ellis, Coley had knocked his last 11 opponents. But he faces a man on the roll in Willie Wise. 5 straight wins for Wise coming into this one. 10th round coming to a close.
Budweiser has 12 breweries located across the country. The Budweiser that you get from your local brewery is usually the freshest beer available in the marketplace. Budweiser sells very quickly. The average age of Budweiser on the shelf is about 30 days. Having local breweries ensures that your Budweiser is the freshest possible beer it can be by the time you purchase it.
10 rounds down, 2 rounds to go in the NABF Welterweight Championship. And we sense that things will be picked up in these last couple of rounds.
Yeah, the 12-round fight. By the 11th round, you realize you have 6 minutes to work with. And any fighter can normally go 6 minutes.
As long as Willie Wise has ever gone. Fought 3 10-rounders, never passed the 10th. Only experienced 12-round fighter. He's done that 4 times. And he's also had a couple of 11-round fights, all NABF title fights.
Well, I said in the blackboard how difficult it is to take a title away from a champion, especially as a defensive fighter. You know, the old adage in boxing is that a challenger must take the title away from the champ. And a defensive fighter doesn't give that presentation.
Yeah, but you know, that's an overall view, but the judges are judging 1 round at a time.
Step back, no question.
Question of how that's factored in. Halfway, a little further than that here in the 11th. Coley may want to open the attack. Really found Willie Wise with the angles on the move. Very difficult to...
Not much brawling this round from Coley.
Minute to go in the 11th.
Oh, that one had knockout spelled all over it.
Great leverage on that shot, but as we have seen, Wise knows exactly where either where to be or where not to be. From the corner of Coley, they like his boxing style here in the 11th. Yelling out encouragement to him.
Great, step back, step back.
11 rounds down and 1 round to go. And now let's take a look at tonight's Power Punch, brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. Can't find any in our main event, but we certainly had many to choose from when David Tua went pounding away on Jeff Wooden. Many power punches by Tua wound up winning a 10-round decision. And there are a few of the power punches of the night.
Frank, I'm thinking about moving to another swamp.
No, really?
I'm just not comfortable living in a swamp where assassination attempts are taking place. Every snake with a sinus headache frightens me.
Hey, snap out of it, Louie. Everybody knows it was you.
Oh, Frank, I had no motive. I love Budweiser, and I love the frogs.
Oh, yeah, you're good buddies. I forgot.
Excuse me, if you would remember last summer, I invited them to that barbecue.
Yeah, well, Louie, you wanted to cook them at that barbecue.
But at least I invited them.
Oh.
You wouldn't have invited them at all.
The final round of the evening. All fights going the distance here tonight. Starting with Kathy Long's victory to move into the finals against Lena Aukus here on the Tuesday Night Fights, March 31st. And David Tua, his decision over Jeff Wooden. And now Derrell Coley and Willy Wise for the NABF welterweight crown going into the 12th and final round. And Coley on his toes. No knockdowns in this fight. Coley electing to stay with the boxing as he did for 12 rounds in the victory over Ramalis Ellis in his last fight, which was in October. That coming off the great escape against Kip Diggs, in which Coley went down 3 times in the fight to come back to stop Diggs in dramatic fashion. But I think Coley actually took a very close look at that. And he talks about loving to slug, but I think he realized that's really not the way to do it.
Not to have a long career. Fighters who slug like that usually don't do that long.
So we saw that actually last week, a little of David Reed, who was the gold medalist. He took on a more experienced fighter, and you could tell he was in there to get the experience of the 8 rounds. He was not looking for a knockout, and ooh, Coley gets cracked on that shot, and now holding on. And Coley here too, looking to box. He has to go the distance. He goes the distance. But remember, Coley has had some dramatic knockdowns late in fights in which he has been ahead. The 12th round goes down against Rocky Balboa, fight in which Coley was winning all the way, and that actually knockdown gained Balboa the draw, leading Pat Coleman all the way before being stopped in the 10th round. And here's Willy Wise now looking to turn it on Coley, the late stages of this fight in the final minute.
Where have these punches been from Willy Wise? He's got some good punches here in this final round. Trying to let it all hang out in this final round.
Well, maybe
he started this earlier. He may have been able to do more damage.
Well, maybe he was watching the Coley tapes and felt the best chance to be in the 12. Coley looks a little wobbly here.
Step back.
30 seconds and counting in the fight.
Coley tying up.
Well, the Tua fight
looking to get 12 rounds tonight. He's not looking for a KO.
The Tua fight beforehand, we had Tua winning by a large margin. Comes away winning a close majority decision. So this one now is in the hands of the judges. A strong finish for Willy Wise. And Coley answers in the closing seconds. Boy, let's go to a 13th round. It'll go to the scorecards. Tonight's boxing has been brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And now, introducing new Born on Dating. It's the day your bud was born. Is your beer fresh? By Burger King, the delicious Whopper Jr. It's the taste you love in a size that's right for you. And by Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Nothing outperforms Mobil 1. Remember, we are off next week. In 2 weeks, we're back with former world champion Bronco McCart, and he takes the challenge of undefeated Kenny Ellis. Also, U.S. Olympian 96 Antonio as a pro, and he takes on the experience of Charles Oliver. That's in 2 weeks on the Tuesday Night Fights. A reminder, Silk Stockings is coming up next as we await the decision in this 12-round NABF welterweight of Willie Wise saving his best shots for the end. He's all smiles. He thinks he may have stolen this one in the backyard of Derrell Coley. Coley came out strong, but then settled into a boxing groove. And we'll have to wait to see how the judges see the fight. Champ, how do you see it?
Taking some time, the judges are. I think Derrell Coley has had this fight in his back pocket. I think he came out and grabbed the first 6 rounds. And the last round, Willie Wise came on strong, but I think it was too little too late. I don't think Willie Wise did enough throughout the entire fight. Some of the blood, cut lips from Derrell Coley. Derrell Coley showing to his fans.
Ed Darian, the ring announcer, awaiting the scorecards from the judges, and this is always an indication of a very close call.
Or a controversial call.
Judges taking their time, sorting out. Derrell Coley 1 step away from a world championship fight. Willie Wise step in the way of that. Was it an unwise decision to fight Willie? And still the judges tabulate.
Yeah, they're getting the calculator out.
Either that or Ed's at the wrong side of the ring.
No, he's got the scorecards right there.
All right, as Ed Darian gets set in the middle of the ring, we will find out. Ed taking his time also, trying to figure out exactly how he will word this. Certainly sounds like a split or majority or something like that. All right, let's go into the ring. Here is that long-awaited decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Pikesville Armory here in Pikesville, Maryland, we have a split decision. And here's the scoring. Judge Gary Merritt scores 115-113 Wise. Judge Emil Comforti scores it 117-112 Coley. And Judge Gary Companetti, he scores it 115-113 for the winner by split decision. And still the NABF welterweight champion,